Ever get sucked into those Glassdoor rabbit holes? Endless scrolling through company reviews, trying to figure out what it's really like to
Yeah.
work at these
Oh,
places.
yeah, totally. Like peeking behind the curtain, right?
Exactly. So today we're doing a deep dive into one employee's experience at booking.com.
The travel website.
Yep, the one and only. And we're going deep on this single detailed Glassdoor review from a former software engineer. They were based in Manchester, worked there for less than a year, posted it back in April 2022.
Okay, so what can we learn from just one person's experience?
You'd be surprised. This review is a goldmine of information. Plus, I think it raises some really interesting questions about company culture, priorities, all that good stuff.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
Well, right off the bat, the reviewer jumps into some positives. Decent pay, clear job progression within the engineering department. Pretty standard, but hey, at least they're not sugarcoating it now.
Sure, sounds good on the surface. Classic move, though, right? Dangle those carrots for the engineers.
Yeah,
Keep them happy. Keep those lines of code coming.
right. But it makes you wonder what they're not saying. Like, is it enough to outweigh the negatives? Because the very next thing the reviewer mentions is this toxic engineering culture. Those were their exact words.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, and they went on to describe it as super competitive, like everyone's out for themselves. They even said it felt like a yesteryear of engineering.
Ouch. That's rough. I mean, think about it. In that kind of cutthroat environment, how can anyone feel comfortable taking risks, trying new things, asking for help even? You need that to innovate.
Exactly. It stifles creativity, and in the end, it's going to hurt the company.
100%. Collaboration is key. Always.
And sadly, it sounds like this competitive vibe might not be limited to just the engineers.
Really?
Yeah, they mentioned the overall workplace being unfriendly and the communication being really snarky.
Ugh, I know that feeling. Like dreading to check your email in the morning because you just know there's going to be some passive-aggressive comment from someone.
Ugh, the worst. Makes you wonder if it's a company-wide issue. Like, is this just how they operate? What are their values?
Yeah, for sure. A healthy and respectful work environment shouldn't feel like some kind of bonus perk. It should be the bare minimum.
Seriously.
Hmm.
It makes me think about what my red flags would be. Like, could I handle that kind of environment every day, even for a great salary? What would you do?
Honestly,
Ah,
I don't know. It's a tough one. Money isn't everything, right? And it's not just about you either. It's about, well, remember that bit about decent pay for engineers?
yeah.
Well, the reviewer also mentioned that on the same day engineering got those pay raises, the entire customer service team was laid off.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, and get this, over Zoom, without severance.
Ugh, that's awful. Layoffs are tough enough, but over Zoom, come on. And then to do it on the same day as giving another department raises.
Like a slap in the face. I mean,
Yeah,
talk about sending mixed messages, right?
totally. Says a lot about where their priorities lie.
It does make you wonder, like actions speak louder than words, right?
Always.
And how a company treats all its employees, especially during tough times like layoffs, it says a lot about their values.
Okay, so we've got decent pay for some, a potentially toxic work environment, and some questionable ethical choices by management. What are people even supposed to do with this information? It's a lot.
Honestly, I think this deep dive just highlights why it's so important to look beyond the shiny facade that big companies often project.
Right. Don't just be impressed by a big name.
Yeah, just because a company is successful or has a cool product or whatever doesn't automatically mean it's a healthy or fulfilling place to work.
It's like dating, right? Don't fall for the first flashy profile you see. You've got to do your research. Read reviews, talk to people who actually work or have worked there, and ask the tough questions during interviews.
100%. Your well-being, your career satisfaction, they're so important. They're worth more than just a paycheck at the end of the day.
Couldn't agree more.
This review is just a great reminder to think about what matters to you in a workplace. Like, what are your non-negotiables? What are your deal breakers? Figure that out, and then don't settle for anything less.
Words to live by. All right, everyone listening, we want to hear from you. Have you experienced this at booking.com or somewhere similar? Do you have a different take? Share your experiences and keep this conversation going.